jeez. Okay, our final question comes from a longtime follower, Megan Green. If you were to remake or reboot a movie franchise, what would it be and why? Indiana Jones, obviously.
No, don't do it. God damn it. No. You don't want to remake or reboot that. It's good as it is.
Only really 50% of those movies are great.
True.
One is okay, and one is watchable at best.
Like, the Raiders and Last Crusade are damn near, like, are masterpieces in their own right. I mean, you could get into the argument about whether or not Last Crusade is good, but I feel like I feel like the emotion in that movie is better than anywhere else in the series.
Fun fact: I just learned that River Phoenix played young Indiana Jones in the Last Crusade.
You didn't know what?
Yeah, I just realized that the other day. We were watching. What were we watching? I forget what we were watching, but River Phoenix was brought up, and I was like, "Huh, I recognize that guy. Oh, he's young Indiana Jones."
Yeah, he was also in Stand By Me, but that's okay.
Yeah, I air-fied myself. I was like, "Woo!"
He was like, "High five, blow it up."
What? In case you didn't know and you weren't following me, I'm not the biggest movie guy on this show.
Oh God. If I were to remake or reboot a movie franchise,
This is a tough one.
Okay,
but in all seriousness, talking about Indiana Jones for a second.
Okay.
I think they could do it without actually hindering, the previous movies. I think they could 007 it.
You're right. I feel like they could too.
But it's just getting that first replacement for Harrison Ford in there. That's you have to get that first guy in there to take the chance and take the leap of faith.
And that first guy has to be right. Like, it can't be like, you can't just Hayden Christensen it. It can't be, it can't be just like, oh, well, this guy's a good actor, we'll fit him in. No, you have to get the right person, because there's a lot to Harrison Ford's acting style, if you could call it that.
You have to get the looks down. You have to get the one-liners. You have to make the one-liners hit. You have to, be able to just be Harrison Ford almost. And that's my biggest thing with this Han Solo movie that's coming up. Not that I'm the biggest Star Wars fan, but is this kid gonna be Harrison Ford? No.
Yeah, exactly.
He's been put in this weird lose-lose situation almost.
Yeah. Well, who is it? Poe from the new movie? All of a sudden people are thinking he's the next quote unquote Han Solo, which I'm like, no, I think they've just tried to make a Poe here. I don't think they've tried to make a Solo. Mm-hmm. Also, we have to remember, in 1980, when the first Indiana Jones was released. Now, I don't know the timeline of how they filmed it. I don't know where in relation to Star Wars it happened. But Harrison Ford had not been in a ton of movies. There are probably people who would say, I think there was talk about Chris Pratt being able to do Nathan Drake in the Uncharted movie because, he has that sort of thing. I think Chris Pratt is a better character than Nathan Drake. I think Chris Pratt is a better actor than Nathan Drake deserves. Personally, that's just my opinion.
Well, now that Spider-Man is now Nathan Drake in the Uncharted movie.
Is he? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the kid that's playing the new Spider-Man, what's his name? Tom Holland. He's supposedly playing Nathan Drake, and the rumor is that Robert Downey Jr. is going to play Sully. But
I feel like Downey Jr. could pull off a Sully. Mm-hmm. I guess since that kid looks super baby face, it could probably work. But again, if I cared, but at the time, Harrison Ford he had a bit part in Apocalypse Now. I think Star Wars was in 77, and then at some point between 77 and 80, he had filmed Raiders, Blade Runner, and Empire Strikes Back. So while his star was definitely on the rise, he was not cemented as, I mean, he probably wasn't even cemented as Hollywood royalty till even well after Return of the Jedi, because it's not like his part was an actor's role. It was just like, hey, we need a dude bro to be a dude bro in a space epic. It's essentially what that is. But in terms of movie franchises, I would reboot, and there's one, and this is dumb as all get out. And I feel like I know it's been tried at least once since the year 2000, but I like old school kung fu movies and samurai movies, and one of my favorite characters is blind swordsman Zatoichi. And I feel like there's untapped potential in doing what like Zhang Yimou did with like House of Flying Daggers or Hero or something like that to that character. Now, I wouldn't Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, because that's way too much of a bullshit attempt at highbrow. And Blind Swordman Zatoichi is a very pulpy character. And the fact that it has, 19 movies dedicated to it, like it's pretty well worn territory, but I'm always down for a good samurai thing, especially if it's just pulp action and fun, like Indiana Jones. So that would be my pick. Like, bring back the swordsman with the headband instead of eyes.
Yeah.
So
for me, I mean, I said Indiana Jones is kind of a joke, but I mean, I think they could do it somehow, but that's not one I'm really willing to touch, because that would be so hard. But one I would really like to see done right and done in the style of the very first movie would be a really solid, gritty kind of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. I would really like to see them approach a movie the same way they approached that first movie, where, yeah, there's funny parts in it, but like that movie's dark. And like, I watch that movie probably once every 3 months, because that's probably, in terms of nostalgia, my favorite movie of all time. Just based off nostalgia and how much I love the Ninja Turtles. And like, I think that those movies got worse as they went on.
Oh yeah, they were terrible. They got
awful. And like, I actually thought, that second Michael Bay produced movie was actually on a track to where they could become good again at some point. But then they came out and said, we're not making a third one because this one didn't do well. And I'm like, well, okay, well, there's going to be...
It didn't do well. It did well the first time because of Michael Bay, but it didn't do well the second time because of Michael Bay.
Yeah. So I would like to see them take that approach where, like, maybe start them out, maybe even make, like, we already know the origins of the Ninja Turtles, right? They could do a Spider-Man, like in Spider-Man 2, and they had the graphic novel style approach during the opening credits where they kind of explain the first movie. You could do a really cool homage to the original comics where it's black and white with the red bandanas. Every one of them is wearing a red bandana, and tell the origin stories that way. I don't really need another Turtles origin story, especially
no, you don't.
The last one was just, oh my gosh, I wanted to throw up when they said, Megan Fox's April O'Neil's dad was a scientist and the turtles were her pets. Like, and
at that point you're like, nope, that's not how it happened.
I'm like, I rolled my eyes so hard that I thought they were going to fall down my throat.
Yeah.
So I mean, if they could approach it that way and really take a stab at like what are the origins of the Shredder, like kind of approaching it from that angle, you know, even like take the approach where Shredder doesn't even show up in the first movie.
Yeah,
like that would be a bold move. And
he's not around till the very end.
Yeah, like if you read the comics, like Shredder doesn't even appear in the comics until like I don't know 2/3 of the way through that first run. Like
yeah,
he's not even a major part of it. Like explore that side of the Turtles before you bring Shredder in, and like you bring Shredder in the sequel and like really explore the Foot Clan and stuff like that. So I think it'd be interesting if they took a gritty approach. I would like to see some turtles that look like they got ripped out of Gears of War. Did you see the turtles from the last movie?
No.
They're so big. Why are they so big?
I mean, I haven't watched a Turtles movie since Turtles in Time.
Oh, Turtles in Time's the worst.
And I'm okay with that. But like I feel like trying to go like I feel like that first movie really nailed, like there's that je ne sais quoi that people talk about, like the original Star Wars trilogy, about how it's not like overblown CG. That for once I feel like J.J. Abrams actually did a good job with in Force Awakens. But like the easy way out is to just say, oh well, we'll just CG it because making animatronic puppets is really difficult. I feel like instead of CGing everything, just and I'm just using this as an example, like do a Pixar movie.
Well, they tried that.
I know that, but like at the same time, but like get like somebody that understands, writing. So yeah. I mean, I don't like the Incredibles movie at all, but I feel like that did comic book ideas in a very interesting way. I feel like there's a lot good in that film. Just it didn't pay off in a way that I felt was great. And there are plenty that disagree with me, and that's totally fine. I just feel like there's a better way to approach that material that avoids live action without sacrificing the story.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. I could see them doing that too. I just kind of want it to be more of that original movie / original comic run where it's just like it takes itself seriously but not too seriously. It's trying to tell a dark story but it's not too dark. Like, I think there's a way to do that, and there's a way to do it very like almost take like the Batman Arkham approach if you're talking about games. Like I think that was, especially that first game, I thought it was really a perfect fit for Batman. Even like a Batman Begins style Ninja Turtles movie would be cool. But like, I don't know. I would just like to see that because I love the Ninja Turtles, and like I'm not going to be one of those people that are like, oh, nothing's ever going to be better than this first movie, because we live in an age where everything gets rebooted at some point, probably 2 or 3 times. Look at Spider-Man; it's been rebooted 3 times by now. So like, I don't know. I think Turtles could use a reboot. I think it needs some time to lay low for a little bit. The cartoon's very successful. This cartoon's really good. Just ride that success until they figure out what to do. It doesn't need to be a big spectacle, and that's the problem with these last 2 movies. It was a big spectacle. So, I mean, that wasn't the only problem, but.
Well, and I also feel like a show in this day and age is going to be more successful because they have more room to tell a story. They have more room for narrative.
I would almost like to see Netflix try a 6 to 8 episode run at it.
Yeah.
Like almost like Daredevil, So.
Yeah.
But that's all of our questions.
Yeah, I feel like we covered some material.
Yeah, I feel like we
answered all of them
I do too.
to the best of our abilities.
I feel like this was our strongest fireside chat.
Yeah.
Just,
I feel like we had ironically we had plenty to pack it with. So
yeah.
So yeah, no, and I'll just peek under the hood again. The reason it is a fireside chat is because Moose is actually seeing family. He's actually seeing family about an hour away from where I live. In fact, I was hanging out with him all day today. And
check our Facebook page. It has Moose taking pictures of Matt.
Yep.
Getting real sexy with some nachos and a Wu-Tang shirt.
Yeah. This is and I'm glad I'm drinking a rather weak beer this episode because I've had plenty of good ones today, and I definitely have a food baby brewing in my belly from all the food.
Yeah, I've been eating like crap lately. I ate relatively light today, so it was a nice change of pace. Well,
I got to bring this food baby to term.